Welcome. There we go.
Welcome. Happy Sunday.
There we go. I love that energy. Co-host. Welcome,
We're setting
everybody.
the vibes here.
That's how we do on Sundays at 2. All right, y'all. Let's start this off. We're gonna start it off on a high note of interaction. The way we like to kick off these actually curious empathy workouts is with a little bit of the happy hour edition. So before you all start to join in, I'm gonna actually put one of our co-hosts here on the spot to help us kick it off. Delilah, you ready?
What I do?
You're good.
I'm ready.
All right. You're good. You get to win the first card. So why don't you share your name, where you're from, where you're calling in from, and then I'll pull a happy hour card for you.
Okay, just let you know, I got some cards over here too. So.
Okay. All right. You can pull the next one. I
have my Ashley Curious deck here too. Name's Delilah D. That's me. I'm born and raised in Philly. So if there's any Philly people here, shout out to my Philly Johns. Yes, Katay Katie. Or Katay, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. So born and raised, I'm the founder and owner of Shift World, and I'm so excited to spend my Sunday morning kicking off with all of you amazing people. So let's go with the first
amazing.
card.
All right, so you ready? Your card is, what is one thing you totally geek out about?
One thing I totally geek out about? Getting over a failure. Can we talk about that? Like when you really fail, especially when you fail at something and then obviously there's a whole mindset. It's like, you know what? I know this is only temporary. Like I'm going to get through it. But that moment when you get through it and you're like, what? I did it. I really did it. So that's definitely one of my favorite geeked out moments, is being able to like accomplish something that I specifically failed at. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Delilah. All right. So before we get in, I would love to see who from the audience is willing to jump up and do a happy hour question. You can use the hand raise tool, which we're going to use later on in the game, so you can start getting used to it. Just use the hand raise tool and we will unmute you, and you can go ahead and share your name, where you're from, and we'll pull a card.
Yes, she did.
So I don't have any hand raising icons. I had clap, and I figured
I saw clap.
Let's do it.
She's like, there's hands involved.
I was like, that's the second best one.
We're clapping for ourselves today.
I love it. We should go from Delilah to can't find the hand raise tool. We got the clap. We're celebrating recovery already. Carol, thank you so much. Carol's an OG. You were here last week as well.
Yeah, I was.
High five to you. All right. Share where you're coming from, where you're calling in from, and then I'll pull a card for you.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. My name is Carol, and I am calling from Durham, North Carolina.
Ooh, North Carolina in the house.
I think, Delilah, you want to pull a card?
Oh, ooh, okay.
How the tables have tabled.
I know. All right, so my card says, nothing says I love you like
being fully understood.
Ooh. And you know what's so funny? Side note, I read this tweet, I want to say like last week, and they were talking about the concept of, you know how they always say communication is key. The guy was like, actually communication is not key, comprehension is key. Because you can communicate with someone, you know, how you're feeling, what you don't like, you know, so on and so forth. But if they're not comprehending what you're saying, it's really just going out the door. So that's actually a good one.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I feel that being fully understood doesn't mean that someone gets you 100% all the way, but that they are starting from the point of, if they don't understand you, they are willing to understand you or to hear you out. So I love what you shared, Delilah, because yes,
agree. Comprehension is key, not communication.
Oh man.
All right, who we got next?
Look, I couldn't look. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have plenty of time more to share. So when you guys are ready, you're already feeling ready, just get ready to hit that clap button right away. But let's kick it off. Thank you, Carol. All right. So welcome everybody to Actually Curious Empathy Workout number 2. Last week's Actually Curious workout was a group journaling session led by myself and Megan Lee Joy, our co-host. And Megan also shared a moving talk about turning challenges into positive lessons. Empathy workouts were created in partnership with Birdie, which is a new dating app that connects people based on personality compatibility instead of pictures, and promotes self-awareness and deep understanding, which is what Actually Curious is about. It's what Delilah just shared. We're here to strengthen our abilities at understanding ourselves and being able to recognize the biases that get in the way of us understanding others. Empathy Workouts is a part of a series that we're calling Empathy 2020, which is all about, helping people to strengthen their empathy skills and muscles going into this contentious elections and holiday time period, which is going to be set amidst COVID-19 and obvious necessary sort of racial uprising over the inequality here in this country. So the proceeds from any donations, I don't think we have the donations enabled on the tickets, but we really encourage you to check out Transparent and Black. They're an organization whose mission is to create healing spaces for Black communities, which we fully support. And we're doing everything we can to drive their awareness around their program and to help them reach their fundraising goals. So please definitely go over and check out Transparent and Black and drop some love. And every week with these empathy workouts, we co-curate alongside a co-host. And this week, I'm so excited and so privileged to be joined by Delilah D of Shift World. Her work at Shift World is all about helping communities of color to turn from dreamers into doers. Her work inspires me, and like in the summer when I was just trying to get some momentum around Actually Curious and I was seeing her work, I was like, yeah, you go, girl, and getting energy off of that work. And that's part of what this whole community is about, is really seeing each other and celebrating each other's wins and feeding off of each other's energy. And with that, I wanna shut up and turn the stage over to Ms. Delilah D to share a bit about herself and to kick off this experience about empowering ourselves so we can empower others.
Thank you. For all my amazing people that are here today, let me just get some ones in the chat. Let me see that you're here, you're ready to go. So I want to make sure we're all interactive. And look, even during the time that I'm talking, I just want to make sure, like everyone, like if you have any questions to ask, don't be afraid. Put your claps if we don't have no hand raised, the happy faces, the thumbs up. I just want to make sure that this is a very inclusive conversation. This is very engaging. It's not like, okay, we're here Sunday looking at a computer screen watching someone speak. Like I want to make sure we're creating a safe space for everyone. If you have any questions, if you want to share any type of feelings, like moments of vulnerability, or just like want to share anything in general, feel free to share, because this is the space that we're creating for each other. Okay, so oh, wow. Oh, you see numbers, numericals. I'm really big with that. But so just kind of going off of what Michael said, my name is Delilah. I am the founder, owner of Shift World. We are a digital content events agency, and pretty much everything we do is for the empowerment of the Black and Brown communities. We want to make sure, our communities understand it doesn't matter where you start off in life, you and only you have complete control where you end up. We are very intentional about the events we create. Well, events BC before COVID. Just the media we push out, the messages we push out to our community, and even the merchandise we release. Everything is just having everyone understand, we take control of our life. It's called Shift because the whole concept is shifting our narrative. We're shifting our stories. We're shifting from, generational curses to generational empowerment legacies. We're rebuilding our new lineage for new legacies for our lineage and our descendants that's coming on. And we just want to have everyone understand we can do what we need to do to live the best versions of ourselves. And I'm definitely excited to kind of be a part of this workshop. All right. Something that Michael, he was just look, girl, I need you to talk about empowerment. I need you to talk about it because it's something you talk about all the time anyway, too. And, you know, one of the main things that we kind of like the key things that we were kind of discussing was just like the concept of pouring from the empty cup. And I know we hear this term over and over again, and it's just like, okay, like what exactly does that mean? So it's just like, I don't know, like with me, pouring from an empty cup, like with me, especially like before COVID, everything about it, like, you know, our lives were always on the go. So granted, we're kind of going through like an experience of pause right now, but you know, I know before this, like I just, the way my schedule was with like, you know, working. So I was promotions director for iHeartRadio too. So, you know, running the promotions for that during the day, building my company at night, you know, being there to support my friends, building out my inventory, building out my website, like just doing a million things, hosting a whole bunch of events, like just going back and forth. I was just like, I ended up being like physically and mentally exhausted. So like my whole thing is like with me, especially if you're on this call, that means like you definitely have some empath energy that you're trying to work on. You're already working on that. You just want to strengthen. But when you're the type of person that always wants to give, because I'm not going to even like sit here and lie, I'm definitely a yes person and something I have been working on because I never want to disappoint people. You always want to be the one that shows up. You always want to be the one that like, no, I'm there for you. No, I'll take, you know, I'll look out whatever way possible. I'll show up here. What do you need from me? Like, you know, I'm just a yes person because like I want to, especially when you're just someone that's just like trying to build your community, like you want to be there as often as possible. But at the same time, you got to realize like, why are you saying yes to yourself? Like, you know, like you saying yes to so many people, like back to back, like that means you're saying no to yourself on so many things. And then when it gets to the time when like, because our biggest excuse can be like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to work on, you know, to work on some face, whatever regimen. I don't have time to eat healthy because I'm always on a go. But it's just like, we really need to understand, and it's something I try to tell people all the time, is just like, understand the concept, like we literally only have one shot at life. Like we only have one time on earth, like regardless of whatever you may believe, like what happens if you believe in reincarnation, then maybe it's different. But, you know, we are literally only given one shot at life. So we need to make sure that we are not only like, yes, loving our community, but we are loving ourselves. And we need to make sure that we are always the number one factor in our lives. And, you know, how do you become a number one factor? How do you do this when you're a mother and you have kids and you're trying to build a business? How do you do this when you're trying to build a business with no tools and you're teaching yourself everything from the ground up? You're self-starting, you're funding your own company. How do you do this when you're working a full-time job and building your business? How do you do this when you literally have nothing and you're hustling so hard just to make that, just to get like some type of income? And it's something that like, and when I tell you like self-care, I'm not talking about just doing face masks and spa days and stuff. Like self-care can get really, self-care, it's very, I don't want to say this in a way to scare you guys, but it's scary. Because self-care means that like you're actually like taking time to kind of like, you know, figure out yourself, figuring out like what are some trauma triggers? Why is it that you're always saying yes? Why is it that you feel like you can't say no to anyone? What are some things that you're scared of? Like, why is it that you feel like you always have to hustle? Why is it you feel like you always have to be on the go? Why is it that you feel like you have to say no to yourself? So it's just like, you know, when self-care, like to me, I had to realize self-care is more than just like booking a spa day. Self-care is kind of sitting down and acknowledging like, what is it that makes me unhappy? What is it that like, what are some traumas that I haven't addressed? What are some issues that I haven't addressed that I'm kind of like putting on a back hold? Why is it that like, you know, I feel like I want to keep myself busy to not address these certain type of things? So it's just like, you know, it's just when you kind of sit down and like, and you know, I had the time during COVID because I had no other choice but to stay put and sit down and kind of be lost in my thoughts. I had to like, just like realize there was a lot of things that I needed to face. And you know, one of it was just like, you know, me, I was just trying to figure out like why wasn't my weight was always fluctuating? Why is it that like, you know, I'm like really, really, really up one day and then the next day I'm just like, don't bother me. I can't be with anyone. Like, why is it my emotional, like I was on an emotional roller coaster. But it's just like and I know I saw someone who did this, like just kind of had like a visual thing, but if you're like always pouring into someone, and then like eventually like your bottle is empty, your cup is empty, then it's just like, what are you doing to pour back into yourself? How is it that you're going to continue to pour into your community? How is it you can continue to pour into your business? How is it you can continue to pour into your children if you're literally feeling depleted and tired and exhausted all the time? And this can especially be hard for those of us that, like with me, I've always felt like, well, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. Like, you know, I'm building the community, like the company of my dreams. And it's okay if I'm tired. Like, I don't care. Like, this is what I'm doing, but like, it's not okay. Because if you're not generally enjoying the process, if you're not generally enjoying your journey, whatever it is your end goal to be, then why is it that you're doing what you're doing? Because like, not for anything, tomorrow isn't promised. So you have to kind of like really take that into consideration. And that's why like I'm very adamant now, like me personally, like I need to make sure I'm pouring into myself. I can't like consistently be here an upbeat person all the time, or like, you know, being myself generally wholeheartedly 100% if I'm not pouring back into myself. And that's when I had to learn the whole concept of no. And it's okay to say no at times. Like, you know, there's sometimes you don't necessarily even have to have anything on your schedule. Sometimes you may want to say no because you want to catch the reruns of Girlfriends, like on Netflix. Because sometimes you want to say no because there's a new show that came out, but you know what? That's your you time, and that's okay. You should not ever feel bad for wanting to like pause and just take time for yourself and do what it is that you want to do in order for you to kind of like get that energy back up to like then to pour into your community. And the thing is, I feel like, especially during COVID, especially like now with this whole political climate we're in right now and in the election season, it's just, we always feel like we need to like be on social media. We need to know what's going on. Like, you know, and a lot of times because since we're stuck home all the time, we feel like, okay, because we're on our laptops and we're home, like I can answer emails at 2:00 in the morning. I can answer emails at 3:00. You know, I can be working all this time, but it's just like, you need to change that concept. Like, I know we're working from home right now, like, you know, but you can't be living at work. So like you need to set those times. You need to set like your boundaries. Like boundaries are so important to like just understanding like, you know, like as a form of self-care. So it's just like with me, like even when this first started, I'm over here like, you know, just working around the clock. And then even I'm just always on my laptop, and it doesn't matter, Sunday to Sunday, you know, from the time I wake up to the time I fall asleep. And it's just like, I'm like, why am I feeling like more physically and emotionally exhausted now than when the world was open? And then now we have everything that was going on, like, you know, with the Black Lives Matter movement, with all like just you know, social injustices like everywhere that's going on in the world. You know, it's highlighted all over our screens. We're spending so much more time on our phones. We're spending so much more time watching TV, catching up on the news, seeing what's going on. And then it's just like, it's just really affecting us mentally and emotionally. And it's just like, but how is this being productive? So it's just like something in general, it's just like, again, like one of the main things I wanted to like just bring up is like boundaries is really important for me. So like when it comes to like, how do I pour back into myself? How is it that like I'm not depleting myself? It's because I have boundaries. If I don't feel like answering emails on a Monday, you know what? I'm not gonna answer my emails on a Monday because I don't feel like it. But when I come back on Tuesday, I'm answering all of them back again because like I'll give you a better version of me. So like, look, you know, see Megan, she's like took her 30 years to learn boundaries. Basically the same thing with me. And it's like, I feel like because we feel like as for those of us who are entrepreneurs, especially here, we feel like, you know, we have to always be available for any opportunity that comes up. But it's just like, and so that means we're always checking our emails every 5 minutes. That means we always want to respond. We always, but like, you have to also like, again, like, it's just, it's not good, especially living in the digital age that we are right now, that we feel like we have to people always have to have access to us at any time of the day. Because, you know, if you're not respecting yourself, you're not respecting boundaries, no one else is going to respect that as well either. So, I mean, just to kind of wrap up, like just the whole concept of pouring from an empty cup, like again, like we want to pour into our community, we want to pour into our family, we want to pour, if you're, you know, involved in, you know, church, into your ministries, you want to pour into your into your business, but you can't do that when you're feeling depleted all the time. You can't do that when it gets to a point, it's just like, yeah, I love what I do, but I'm so tired. Yeah, I love what I do, but it's just like,
Did she just break the internet with that? Oh my gosh.
Totally.
Oh man. I hope
any
she gets to
technology
come
at
back
all.
and wrap that up.
Girl,
Yeah,
you froze, but you're good now.
You were just saying how you were lighting it up with that talk. So
yeah. I could go on about this always, but in general, it's just just understand boundaries, understand that self-care can get ugly. It is not all sunshine and rainbows. Understand just the concept of no. And just like, you know, you have to really pour into yourself. Like stop continuously like pouring into other people, into other things, into, you know, just other things in general. If you're not pouring into yourself as well, like at the end of the day, like the most important person like that's always gonna matter is you. So stop pushing yourself to the side and start loving yourself. And see.
Amazing. Amazing. Oh man, Delilah, you hit on so many points throughout that all I had to do was just like keep pounding my chest in agreement and snapping you up. That whole arc. I mean, for those of you who, I mean, it's applicable across everything, but the entrepreneurs out there, the people who have been, you know, grinding and giving your all to your jobs, to your families, like, you know, we're here today to help everyone have permission to say no and have like strengthen your resolve to love on yourself. Delilah, thank you so much. Can you get a round of applause?
Thank you. I love what Carol just said right now too, because it is true. Like no may seem scary for people, but like if you don't want to say no just yet, just say okay, not right now. You know, maybe not at this moment, or I'll get to it when I can get to it. If you're not comfortable with saying no just yet, but I just feel like, you know, just again, just going off of that. And when we're, especially when you're like, when we're people who aren't like when things aren't spoon fed to us, when things aren't handed to us, and we feel like, you know, we're always have to hustle for the next goal. We have to hustle for the next accomplishment and stuff. Like we always feel like we have to say yes. And it's just, again, like, no, I'm very adamant now. Like I want to enjoy my journey. I want to enjoy my journey in life. I want to enjoy my time with my loved ones. I want to enjoy like every accomplishment. And the thing is like before, like even like accomplishments that I was doing, that I was getting, I wouldn't really enjoy because I'm like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but now on to the next thing. Okay, yeah, this is cool, but like I need to do better. I need to do more now. So it's just like, no, like do like your micro celebrations when you have your little accomplishments, do your things, like whatever, however you want to micro celebrate, and then you still celebrate your big wins as well. But yeah, I want to enjoy life, guys. Again, like I can't stress this enough. We're literally only given one shot at life, and there's no use in being here if we're just stressed out all the damn time. So you need to make sure you honor yourself, and like, you know, you're doing things to make you enjoy life, to make you enjoy yourself, enjoy your own presence as well. Yeah. Max is like.
All right. That was amazing and so moving. This next section of the empathy workout is we're going to share the stage with everyone here. But before we go into the empathy workout, I'd like to invite Megan Lee Joy to the stage to lead us in a grounding exercise.
All right, Michael, thank you. Hey, guys. So I invite you to get a little comfier than you are right now. Relax into your seat and for me. You can take a deep breath in through your nose, collectively, all of us together. And out with a sigh. One more deep breath in through your nose. And keeping your eyes closed, I want you to feel into your body. Honor what it's telling you. Listen to it. And this idea of empowering yourself so you can empower others. Saying no is saying yes to yourself. I want you to focus on your line of height, your length. We're going to take a deep breath in 3 intentional deep breaths. This is a somatic centering practice. So we are bonding our body with our mind and with our essence. So this length from the top of your head to the tippy toes of your feet represents your dignity. And dignity is the state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. And so in this line of dignity, I want you to sit like a king or a queen with your feet rooted into the ground and your head stretched up to the stars. And take a deep, slow breath in, feeling your dignity. And out. Now the second line is our width. It is our wingspan. If you like, you can put your arms out like you're flying. And this is our belonging. I want you to take up space to feel what it feels like to belong in this world. With your arms outstretched, I want you to take a deep breath in and feel belonging. And last but not least, we get to go inside and center within into our depth. I want you to feel from the front of your chest to the back of your spine. I want you to put your hands on your chest. You have depth. You have complexities and dimensions that fill you up. Everything that comprises you, your purpose, your being, your worthiness, just by being born on this planet. Feel into that and take a deep breath into your depth. Both hands over your heart. I want you to send love to yourself. And if you feel compelled, I want you to move into an embrace with yourself, hugging yourself tightly, loving on yourself, loving your body awake. Take a deep breath in and exhale with a smile. You can release your hug or not. These 3 intentional breaths you can do as quickly or as long as you want your practice to be. You get to breathe into your length and your dignity, your width and your belonging, and your depth, everything who you are, and center and ground into yourself in any moment before you step out into the world. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Megan Lee Joy. All right.
So welcome.
That was amazing. All right. Are we ready? It's time to get into the empathy workout for the week, which we're calling self-love as resilience. And today's exercise is a continuation of this theme. We're going to practice loving on ourselves so deeply and fully, and doing that in the presence of others. You know, as Delilah mentioned, at times it can be hard for us to just show ourselves gratitude, to put ourselves number one. So here you have permission, not only permission, the way you win is by loving on yourself more than the next person. So let's pull up the rules. The rules for this round, each round we're going to need 2 people to volunteer. So Megan and Caroline, if you guys can look out for the hand clap, start volunteering right away, because we need 2 people right off the bat. So the first 2 to hand clap will get in. I'll read a card from the easiest level, and each person who comes up shares their name, where they're calling in from, and then answers the question. Everyone else has to listen actively, because you're going to vote. Who do you feel is like, who's really going for, who's really loving on themselves extra hard? Who's loving on themselves the most? When people are loving on themselves, feel free, because people can see sometimes, like, you can sort of like, you can give little signs of approval just to cheer them on, just to show them like how much you appreciate them appreciating themselves. We'll vote by writing in the name of the person we feel like really loved on themselves the most. Again, like, just be playful with this and have fun. And that person will stay on. We'll get another volunteer. The person who won then gets to select the next card. You can either select you can stay in the same level, or you can go up to the next level, but we have to do one from the previous level before we unlock the more intimate cards. Okay, I know that was a lot, but I think we'll figure it out. We'll leave the rules up for a little bit. Do we have 2 volunteers? Come on. I see some laughter. All right.
We got Ruby and Kate.
Ruby.
Katel. Yes.
Katel. Welcome. All right, let's get them off mute. Who's going first?
Ruby? Katel's going first.
It's Katel.
It's
okay. Just one.
No, thank you. This is your space. Take up as much space. That is your name, Katel. Own it. All right? So the question for the two of you is, let's celebrate you. Tell us 3 big wins you had this week.
I took last week off completely from work. Went to the woods. It was wonderful. That's a huge win. I wrote 2,000 words working on a book I decided to write. And and I just got a new client for a coaching practice I'm starting. So
yeah.
Woo! I love that. 3 huge wins. All right, Ruby. Time to love on you the most.
I completed a pitch deck for a kids TV show that I've been working on for a couple months. And that felt good. I said no to a friend who wanted my time, and I always give her my time. And this week I was like, no, I need my time the most. And she kind of stresses me out too. So it felt really good to be like, I've never said no to this person my entire life. So it felt very big for me to be like, I'll have to get back to you in 2 weeks. And then the third thing was I was on a shoot yesterday for an acting gig, and it wasn't as COVID safe as they alluded to. And I took care of myself, and I was like, this is not what I thought the experience was going to be. I'm going to be in my car. When you guys need me for my takes, I'll come out and do my takes, but I'm not staying in a hot, sweaty set with no air, with people not wearing masks. I'm just not doing it. That felt good. You were the silent applause.
Thank you both for sharing those amazing gratitudes for yourself. All right, let's get some votes in. So who do you think loved on themselves the most this round? I mean, those were all amazing, but it's just part of the game. So just, I know they did. Ruby, thank you. Ruby, Kettle, you did really amazing too. It looks like Ruby's getting, okay, there we go. All right, looks like Ruby's gonna take this round. So Ruby, you stay on. Kettle, thank you. Thank you for being brave and hopping up. All right, we need another volunteer. And Ruby, you start thinking, are we staying in the happy hour or are we headed up to blue?
Let's head up to blue.
I was hoping you'd say that. That's very actually curious of you to go deeper. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's our challenger?
Who's stepping up?
You can use the
all right, Alexis. Awesome.
Amazing. Okay. Ruby, you're going first.
Okay.
The question is, I wish I could share blank, in this case, the blank skill of mine. I wish I could share blank with humankind.
Well, I guess I'm working on it, but I want to share there's joy and wonder in everything. If we just pause to look, even the sun rising is so beautiful, majestic, and sure, it's hella early to wake up and see joy, but we gotta if we want more joy, we have to work at it and manifest it. So I'd like to show the world how to access more joy for free within themselves and in the world around them.
I love that.
I guess it's my turn. So, hi, I'm Alexis. I'm calling from Maryland. Very close to
Hey,
this.
Alexis.
Hey, y'all. So, I would say that I wish that I could share my skill of listening, because a lot of people don't listen. Of course, you know the term or the phrase, you listen to react, not to respond. So I feel like that's a really big thing, especially in people my age, in my age realm. So listening for sure.
Oh man, that's tough. Those are two real strong gifts you all are looking to share. And also I want to say two very, very actually curious style gifts. All right, so let's get our votes in. I know it is so hard. I'm going to cast my vote just to get us going. Am I allowed to do that? Megan Lee Joy, am I allowed to vote? All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do it not privately to one person. All right, let's get these votes in. It would be nice to like have music for the voting in the future. We'll see. Alexis, it looks like you may be staying on. That's what it looks like right now, Alexis. You're the winner.
That's what's up.
Ruby, thank you. Thank you so much for your share. Alexis, you get to stay on. We're in blue. It means we've unlocked 2 levels. We can go up to green, 3 levels unlocked, and the choice is going to be yours. So where are we headed?
All right, let's take it up a notch. Why not?
Okay. Okay, I have the card ready. Do we have a challenger? And I'm going to give you a hint. So Alexis, you're going first. The person who wins the round goes first. I almost always see that the person who goes second wins. So let's see if you can accept the challenge. So who do we got? Who we got up? Megan Lee Joy. Who do we have? You're on mute.
Kanene.
Kanene. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So the question for you both, Alexis is going first. I know you guys just met. This is going to be a challenging one. You're just meeting right now, but the question is share one positive characteristic about the other person. So this is I guess a little bit of a twist. This is not loving on yourself. This is loving on a complete stranger. Unless you guys know each other. You guys know each other?
No.
Okay. All right. So Alexis, you're up. Share one positive characteristic about Kanene.
It's the style for me. Immediately when she popped up, I was like, oh my gosh, this neon suit here is everything that I need this morning. Like this sweatsuit, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. And then the glasses, come on now. Unmatched.
That was strong. That was
good.
Kanene, I wish I was sitting in your seat, your little square over there right now.
So funny. Woo. Yeah, because I was like, all right, I gotta be something. So it's like, it's a really cute robe, actually. It looks like a sweat. It looks like a sweatsuit. Yeah. And these are Fendi's because Fendi's my favorite. So thank you, Alexis. So I guess I know Alexis more than Alexis knows me. So I would say that Alexis is a positivity amplifier. She is able to zone in on a situation, like she said, with her listening skills, and then figure out the quickest way possible to make sure that her goal is achieved. Her goal is peace. Her goal is calm. Her goal is get to the next thing of what we actually need to do and not kerfuffle ourselves in unnecessary awkwardness or, perfunctory. Like, no, just get to it and get to it in a way that is pleasing for all involved, a win-win. That would be Alexis. Win-win positivity amplifier. Put that on a t-shirt. What? Split the profits. Split the profits.
Is that your final word? Split the profits.
That was it.
Okay. All right, people. You know the rules. You know the rules. We've got Alexis. We've got Kanene. Can we get some votes? And
I'll do the music.
While you're voting, I just want you to, I don't know if this happened for y'all, but I'm checking in on what's going on in my body right now. And just watching y'all love on one another just made me feel loved on. So thank you. Thank you both. Do we have votes coming in? It's just part of the game. It's part of showing love to the community.
Looks like Kanene.
Hey. But that means we both win, Alexis.
Yeah.
I needed
Everybody
you.
wins. We all win.
If you win, I win.
You were such a influence. You were such a goodness. You brought it out of me,
Cross tears.
Tissue.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry to interrupt the love session, but I think we can get at least 2 more cards before we have to move on to the next section. So, Kanene, what are we doing? Are we staying in green, going backwards, or are we going up to yellow?
Let's do green because the glasses are green, the wall is green.
Green, bold move.
Green is one of my favorite colors.
That is a bold move. Okay, yeah. Green it is. Do we have a challenger? Here we go. Do. And at this point, I'm hoping someone who hasn't gone yet will step up, but you can go twice. I don't want to have to be the one to have to go up against.
Yeah, we got it.
All right, because I was getting nervous. I was thinking I was gonna have to follow that. So, all right. So who's our second volunteer?
Okay. Introduce yourself, girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi. I'm Sade. I'm from Sacramento, California. And
welcome, Sade. Welcome. Thank you for coming to Empathy Workout number 2. All right, so Kanene, you're up first. The question is, remember the theme is loving on yourself. What cultural or moral values do you hold in high regard and why?
You must take off your shoes when you come inside the house.
I am dead.
So my mother's Jamaican, my father's Trini. So this whole COVID thing, this whole wash your hands thing, this whole hand sanitizer thing, this whole take off your shoes thing, this is old news, okay? Because my mother told me, okay, you're white from front to back, not from back to front. And then you sit there and you tear off another piece of toilet paper, and then you twist the door to the bathroom door, and then you put that in the sink after you turn on the pipes, and then you turn off the pipes, and then you sit there and you tear off another piece to sit there and open the door again for you to leave the bathroom. So you're not touching anything and your hands are clean. Okay, cleanliness is like godliness. Thank you. It's serious.
Oh, mic drop. Sade, you're up.
I relinquish all control. God, I would say, I know this is scripture, but loving neighbor as yourself, I definitely think that's a lot that needs to go on today, especially with Black Lives Matter. It's I know I matter, but treating the next person like they do as well. So, yeah.
I like that, short and sweet. All right, people, we're gonna get one more round in. Let's get the votes in on this round. We've got Kanene, who won the last round. We've got Sade calling in from Sacramento, sharing for the first time with us. High five, girl. Alright, get my vote in here just to help move this along. Yeah. Congrats for sharing. Thank you so much. I know the voting is so hard, but it's just part of the game. It's part of the fun. Sade, you pulling out in front?
She is. Go.
There we go. All right. I think we can get one last round in before we have to close it out here. So, Sade, what are we doing? We're staying with green, we're going back to blue or the happy hour, or we're going up to yellow? We haven't unlocked the pink. So, no pink this round.
Can we go higher or do we go back?
You want to go up to yellow?
If that is a rule that we can do. Or we can go back to pink.
Yeah. You can go up. Go up.
Yeah.
All right. Yay. I hope I didn't did I influence that choice? No, I didn't.
No.
All right. All right. Do we have a volunteer for this last round? Closing round. You got that reference? All right.
You don't have to show your face either. You can do it verbally for those of you without your
And on this
cameras.
last one, I want to encourage everyone to also type in your answers too. So we just need one. It only requires one.
Delilah's gonna
All right.
do it.
Delilah, thank you. And thanks everyone for showing up. This round, when you hear the question, write your answers in. We want to see your answers. You ready? Ready, Sade?
Yes.
All right. Imagine yourself in the future. What will your greatest accomplishment be?
Oof. Oh my God. Let's go back to pink.
This is your stage. We're just waiting to root for you to get that accomplishment.
Right. My greatest accomplishment, I think, would just be believing in myself. Yeah, that just takes a lot. Just short. Yeah, I would definitely believe in myself, and I'm pretty sure that would take me so far. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
We all got it inside of us. All right, Delilah, you're up.
My greatest accomplishment will be being genuinely and wholeheartedly 100% happy. I just feel like, just someone who doesn't have to put a mask on, someone who doesn't feel like they have to just kind of shift who they are to be around different people, just someone who's generally wholeheartedly 100% myself at all times. That would be my greatest accomplishment. Monetary gains are incredible. Accomplishing my goals it's great, but just being happy is just something that I want to feel. And if I know I'm able to experience that, I'm good.
Amazing. All right, y'all. First of all, thank you everyone for sharing. That was amazing. Just hearing you all take up space and love on yourselves. It makes me feel so good. So thank you. Mm-hmm. Should we get some votes in just to close this one out and move into the final community round? And
we all won. We don't need to vote. We all won. We here. We spent the day together. It's Sunday. We could have been doing anything else, but we're all here together. So we all won.
Amazing. All right, y'all. The lady said it. You heard her. So let's move on to the final round here. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, we call this just an open forum round. This is an opportunity to ask questions you can ask a question of Delilah, of myself, of Megan Lee Joy, of someone else you met here tonight. You can share a reaction, just something in real time. Any feedback? How are you feeling right now? So you can
I'm gonna add one more thing in on par with our theme, which is you can celebrate something.
Mm-hmm.
Kanene, go for it.
Yeah. So I want to thank you all so much yet again. Actually curious, biggest fan. And,
thank you.
And obviously it's always beautiful and amazing to meet people just in your own living room. I think this should go on moving forward. Like even when we're in real life, I think that there is something to be said about this, despite the circumstances. I think it's still like it's cool. I'm used to it now. I'm just like, hey, something's in your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind this anymore. So I heard Delilah give the pep talks of pep talks, the TED talk of pep talks. Oh, put that on a t-shirt, split the difference. I'm so silly. But I want to know, like, concretely, what can you walk us through one thing, one event or something that you've actually done? I'm just curious. I'm so excited. Like what exactly can we have we seen or will see from you and your initiatives?
So events in general, like actual physical events, we're not doing anything until 2021 due to COVID.
Yeah.
But before this, like I've worked with different brands such as HBO. Like I put together in Philly, we had like a skating party that we had, but it was for a viewing for the Insecure, the new series that was coming out. So it was like a free skating event. We had people, they got to leave with customized skates, free drinks, like free food. And it was just like providing like an ultimate experience for the community. We had in DJs that came in from like Rock Nation and stuff, and they had like a set playlist that fit like the theme of like Insecure as well. So we do stuff that's entertainment, but that's like for our community, providing different experiences. But we also do stuff that's like productive. So like for instance, I had partnered up with my roommate Fatu, so she would actually be leading with Transparent Black Girl Nuts Week. We partnered up and we put together Philly Startup Week. So essentially, when it comes to like the startup industry, there's not a lot of Black and brown representatives there at all. We don't really feel included within those industries. We don't know anything about VCs. We don't know anything about investments, how to get capital, what it means to to talk to investors. How do you talk to investors? How do you build a business plan? So essentially, we built out an entire week with programming. So we worked with like a brand like Salesforce, and we were a whole bunch of brands, and Salesforce was our main they were our main sponsor. And throughout the entire week, we had different programming that was dedicated to our community and in the language that they understood. So we infused like the topics that was just kind of like, like money, like, with Cardi B's like lyrics and stuff. But so it was like a way to cater to our audience. And they had direct contact with these C-suite level people, with investors and stuff, like having them in one room. So they'll be able to kind of understand like what it is like they need to do to get their businesses up and running. We also did we do a series of networking events in general. So like whether it's here in Philly, New York, post COVID, we do plan on going to doing events like in California, stuff, whether it's entertainment, networking in general. So like we always just want to make sure like people leave our events feeling not only fulfilled, but they also like they gain new networks. So like if you're introverted, I especially love you to come to my events, because I will call you out. I will like physically have you like go meet with someone. I'm like, okay, tell me what your interests are. What do you like? I will introduce you to someone, because I know it can be a little intimidating to kind of like want to put yourself out there, but like connections to me are everything. Like my community is everything. And I just genuinely believe it's so important for us, especially to kind of help each other with one another. Like I'm really big on networking across rather than networking above, because like if we're all in the same boat together, we can really help each other raise to different levels. So yeah, but so even like with that, so whether it's like events for my community, I do a lot of women empowerment events in general, but that's with my own personal brand. And then for just like it's so funny because you're saying put it on a shirt. I actually have my own merchandise line as well. Like this is one of our shirts that I partnered up with AB Media Group, and we raised within 4 months like over $16,000 to donate to different Black Lives Matters initiatives. So grassroots organizations that's like supporting the cause. Like for the first 2 months we donated to the Georgia Fund, also to Black Visions Collective. But then now like every month we donate to different small Black orgs that are like working with the Black community. We just released like our Keep the Families Together merch line. So like the money it's 100% of proceeds that's going towards, so this is like towards the Black Lives Matter movement. And then for like the Keep the Families Together, it's 100% of proceeds go towards immigrant rights initiatives. So then we also have like our other merch that's like, we just released our chain this week that says resilient. So all of our stuff is like really empowering. It's just like when you wear our stuff, like if you come to our events, when you see our media, we want you to feel good basically at the end of the day. So it's kind of what I do.
Thank you, Delilah D.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I know. So just so you know, we have about 2 minutes left in the hour, but there were 2 questions. I'd love to have those come through to the community wherever you wanted to direct them, and then we'll close out. As always, we close out with an intention for the week. So I hope you can stick around. But Carol, you were up with a question or reaction?
Yes, and I'll keep it as brief as possible. Love the workouts. Love the fact that you had them all scheduled for 4 weeks. I was just really curious because so far we've had some amazing lineups with Megan and Delilah. How did you decide? And I have a feeling that you, Michael, and Actually Curious as a company as a whole, you have so many other amazing contacts with your networking and with Actually Curious. How did you decide that these would be the first 4 workouts that you would start these sessions with?
Yeah, so I mean, I too am a small business. It's me and Caroline over here for the most part on our side. And the way we're able to continue growing and doing different things is kind of sticking within our values and almost like reaching to like the partners that are within arm's reach where and that's kind of what we preach in terms of like really connecting to yourself and your values. When you're doing that, you kind of just fall in flow and you connect with the right people. So we knew we wanted to do a series of 4 events to help people strengthen their empathy skills going into the election month. We knew we wanted to really give as much of a platform as possible to Black and Brown storytellers. We led off with Megan Lee Joy because Megan Lee Joy is like a partner that found us early on in days, and we've been dreaming up ways to collaborate and ways to combine wellness plus the game in a content setting. But also she had phenomenal experience in producing these types of events. So it was just like a dream come true to have her sort of like come to the table when we wanted to produce these events and do it with confidence. So really the overarching theme of the 4 events is really focusing on inwards and strengthening our ability to be aware of ourselves, aware of our emotions, and to love ourselves. And that's really, you're going to see that as a through line through all 4 events. And other than that, it's family. It's people who are in our community who've been shouting us out online, who've been, saying like, hey, we need to find a way to collaborate. And then, just values alignment with our narrative. So it's not, it wasn't hard for us to come up with what story we would do. There were probably like 15 stories that we could do together, but we wanted to find, the one that kind of worked in a progression. So a little bit of science, a lot of art, and a lot of trust and love. And Ruby.
Delilah, you mentioned a lot about having boundaries and saying no to people. Can you share a little bit of like, basically it took me all week to come up with a sentence to tell my friend, like, I don't have time for you this week, but to say it in a nice way, So can you share some like ways that you have been able to say your boundaries and uphold them, even with like the toughest kind of people that push back on you?
You know what's crazy? So when I started practicing the whole concept of no, I would come up with excuses. But I just realized like, I would just say like, oh, I'm busy doing this or I'm busy doing that. Like, I just realized there's no reason for me to give you an excuse. Like, I'm honoring myself. Like for instance, I would just say like, honestly, I'm not mentally capable of like being able to be there right now. You know, honestly, like I'm just physically exhausted right now and I just want time to myself. Like, honestly, I just need time to myself. Like, and I'll just keep it short and simple. Like before I'm like, okay, what's this excuse I'm gonna say? My mom needs me. I have to go do errands with her. I have to do whatever. And it's just like, no, honestly, I'm just not here for it mentally and physically or something mentally, emotionally. I need alone time right now. And if they can't respect that, then honestly, you don't really want those type of people in your life. But that's always been kind of my thing, because if I'm not up for it, there's a reason why I'm not up for it, and I need to honor myself. So that's kind of just been like my go-to saying. And I feel like a lot of people are just like, I've actually been getting like good responses from me saying that, because I feel like now, especially because they know I'm always promoting just kind of like mental health, you know, just taking care of yourself all the time. So when I say, if I'm able to be vulnerable enough to share that I'm not mentally, or I'm not like mentally, emotionally capable of just kind of being around people right now, like they honor and respect it, because sometimes I just don't want to. And I tell people all the time, I'm the most extroverted, introverted person you ever meet in your life. When I'm around people, I can entertain, I can, you know, talk to a million people in one room, I'm good to go. But when I need myself to my time too. So like, I just need to have a healthy balance. And if I don't have my alone time, if I don't have my time to recharge, I won't be able to be that extroverted person there. So like, that's just me personally. I just say like, no, like, you know, I'm not feeling it mentally and emotionally right now. I'm so sorry. You know, I want to be able to give you my all, like 100% whenever I'm with you, but I'm not going to be good company. But just, I mean, Liz, that's something I can say. You're more than welcome to say that too. So I feel like they're like, wow, like something going on with her. And if they try to like ask you like what's going on, I was like, honestly, I just need a day to myself. You know, I can't be there right now. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I want to just add a little bit to that, because I agree with everything you just said. And what I've found, I'm going to say the hardest person has been for me to say no and to push back on and to protect my boundaries with, honestly, was my mother. And and so these come in so many different permutations, but I've gone through the maintaining the boundaries now, to where she's now modeling that behavior back, or modeling that behavior with my dad. And so when people reject it at first, they, you know, and maybe because they don't know how to do that for themselves a lot of the time. And so the bright side, or like when it's the hardest, look like, just hear these words, like on the other side of the battles of saying no is someone who's like, oh wow, I admire that. You know, I want to be like that. Mm-hmm. Hopefully. All right, so here we go. So we're closing out. Delilah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This was a dream come true. The second empathy workout in the books. 2 more to go in October, and hint, hint, more to come after that. Empathy workouts, like we said at the top, was created with Birdie. They're our partner. We love their approach, and we're excited to see them grow. All the events are driving awareness and funds towards Transparent in Black and their mission to create healing spaces for Black communities. We hope that you'll join us next week, because the founder of Transparent in Black, Yasmin Jamila, will be joining us to discuss.
She's incredible.
Snap, snap, snaps to that. All right, and as we do every week, I'm going to close us out with an intention for the week. You can take some notes, or you can just like listen, embody this, take from it what works for you. I want you to, in your mind, almost like visualize yourself repeating these words. If I'm not going to unapologetically root for me, why should anybody else? Because I can be anything to before I can be anything to anyone else, I have to fully 100% love me. So this week, if I make a mistake or I remember something from the past, I won't run away from it. I will let that feeling, even if it's sadness or shame, I'll sit with that feeling. I'll let it hang out by my side and teach me what I need to know. And I will thank it for being a part of me and protecting me. I'll love every part of me. The good parts, the challenging parts, the powerful parts, the delicate parts. All of them are a part of us. So we are full. So we can give and pour from a full cup. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday and have a deeply connecting week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.